in case you missed it, Chris Tyson, good friend of Mr. Beast, co-worker, co-star, distant cousin of Iron Mike, recently opened Pandora's box and basically confirmed a lot of rumors that have been floating around for the past couple months, where people were kind of wondering why Chris was showing up in Mr. Beast videos looking a little bit different, longer hair, painted fingernails. And granted, in this day and age, that could mean a lot of things. I mean, he could be part of the Lil Yachty drip wave or part of the Young Thug I wear a dress and what's the problem wave. But he recently confirmed explicitly that he is on HRT. After someone asked what happened, he basically responded, HRT, and it's only been 2 months, which basically says that he's doing hormone replacement therapy. He's transitioning either into someone who's more feminine, a female, a they, them, a Zer. I'm not 100% sure. It's not Pride Month yet, so I'm not going to research yet. But changes are happening, and Chris is on the train to a different plane of existence at the moment. And, you know, the typical response kind of came out from Twitter. The Gay Justice League was super happy about this. I think Gay Superman and Gay Batman are probably going to, like, try to make a move for him to get on the board. I don't know if Gay Thor and Marvel's going to make moves, but they're happy. They're very happy about this. The MAGA Army people, not so much. They're upset that he has a son, he's divorced, he's transitioning. And I think a lot of people are like focusing on his personal life and, you know, all these different things like morals, as if this country did not forsake Christ years ago. But for me personally, you know, I understand it's only been 2 months, right? I understand that. I know he's early on in his career with this, but you know, Chris, man, you got to start making moves. I mean, like Caitlyn Jenner, right? He was able to capitalize, became Woman of the Year, okay? We've got a lot of female transgender athletes that basically are dominating in the sport. If you want to, join a soccer league, you know what I mean? We could use another female World Cup, all right? I'm just putting it out there. We could use that. And hey, if you want to become an influencer, you saw that guy who got $1 million from Bud Light just for dressing up and like doing dances with Bud Light and pretending like he drinks. You have a lot of business opportunities here, and I hope he doesn't fumble this bag. No matter what, he will be successful. Now, my question is, right, is how will Mr. Beast as a entity respond to this? And the reason why I say that is because I've seen some videos floating around where there's like a video of Chris kind of lightly addressing this, saying, you know, some people don't like change, being very like tongue-in-cheek about it. But this was before this whole blow up and this whole like conversation around this. And, you know, people speculate and say that Jimmy of Mr. Beast was awkward or didn't like it or didn't know how to respond to it. I think they're putting a lot into it. I don't know how real or fake his response was, but I think the real question is, will Mr. Beast actually respond to this in any way, shape, or form, whether it be on his main channel, his second channel, or, you know, at all? Because when you think of Mr. Beast, he really is the most corporate level YouTuber. Like, he's literally like the Warren Buffett, but much younger dude on YouTube, where everything's business, everything's based off the algorithm, everything's like pushed to children, either in America, Latin America. Like, dude's making videos in Spanish because he realized I can get some of that Spanish marketplace. So he really is a corporate entity through and through. So, you know, I personally see this as an opportunity for him to either A, ignore it and just move on as is, as a corporate. You know, most corporations would love to do that, just push through and ignore it, which I think he'll probably try to do. But if he does respond to it at some point, whether it be on his main channel or his second channel, I think it'll be the way you'd expect. It's like, I support my friend, he's my boy, and no matter what they do, I'm going to be there for them, and I don't support people who are hating on him. But I think it's just funny because, like, I don't really care about what that individual thinks. It's just very funny because Mr. Beast as a channel is so like child friendly, algorithm friendly, no drama surrounding it whatsoever, squeaky clean, just an absolute investor's dream. And now you have some people who all of a sudden don't like Mr. Beast just because one of the people on it are like transitioning and it may be a quote unquote negative image for children, despite the fact that literally every video is just him spending millions of dollars on shit no one needs. But I think, like, and no matter what, people are going to get mad because people got upset when he made that, like, Curing the Blind video saying only God can do that. So I can only imagine if he made during Pride Month some crazy, like, pro-gay video. And then the MAGA army, that might be the time where they bust Trump out of prison and come right after that guy and try to put him in prison himself, because I think that people are just afraid of his influence because he is so large, he is so domineering, that if he were to support that, it would mean something. But I think it's just funny because I don't think he wants to say anything at all whatsoever because he's, again, a very corporate guy. He just wants to do what makes the most amount of money, what gets the most amount of views. It's really an algorithmic approach for algorithm-based videos where it's not really anything he cares about. And now all of a sudden he's faced with this weird dilemma where people are wondering what he thinks. Will he support it? Will he deny it? Will he ignore it? And I think it's a very awkward situation for him just from a business perspective, because I don't think he ever thought he would ever get into a situation where he'd have to address any type of personal business or information, or having his own co-stars or co-workers bring in this type of attention that isn't the content but is their personal life. In general, I think it's kind of like a lot to do about nothing, but I do think it's interesting to see for the first time a corporate entity such as Mr. Beast, where it's literally just all business all the time, now have to dig deep and see what the best move forward is, whether it be ignoring this or addressing this. But I am interested to see what happens, because I think no matter what, it's a losing chess move. It's either you're ignoring it, you're part of the problem, you address it, and then you say you're a part of the problem for this group of people. It seems to be like an L no matter what.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!